wrote Apical Meristem, because on the top of a plant, the growing tips have apical meristems, a kind of cell tissue, and also on the roots. So on the top and on the roots is all apical meristem. Meristemic tissue is the stuff that grows, but the apical meristem has a hormone, and it tells everybody else, you're not growing behind me. So a lot of times you'll see a plant where it grows like this, and then suddenly you're getting leaves up here at the top, but you won't get them down below. It'll be bare, okay? And so I had one of my friends who's a really old-time gardener say, pull that plant out, it looks so bad with the bare underneath. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. So once you cut this node off, the top, the apical meristem, forgive me. You cut that off, now the hormone isn't there. They have to make a new beginning one. So while that isn't there, you start getting more leaves coming below that. So if you have a plant that gets really leggy and you don't have anything and it looks kind of yucky, if you cut off just the tops and then it comes down, and then what do? You say, I'd like it to look a little better, so now I'm going to prune it back a little more, and I'm getting some more, and you keep pruning it down and letting it, you don't cut it to a bare stem, because you might just lose, if you cut it to a bare stem and you cut it off, you might just lose that whole branch. So what you want to do is push the growth back down. So that hormone, and I don't give names because want you guys just to get the concepts, like if you're driving a car. So that's how that works. When you've got a plant that people say, I want to have a hedge. I see it all the time. They want to grow fast. They want their privacy from their neighbors. And they didn't want to buy a 15-gallon. And in truth, a younger plant will grow faster than the 15 if it's been there a while and roots are bound up. So it's good to get a 5-gallon. And so now it's growing, but they usually say, I don't want to prune this at all until I get a height. And so guess what? Now they've pruned it. The apical meristem is gone. So now they're going to get this really not necessarily good-looking shrub that they could have. If they had instead made a decision to say, okay, I want it to look good, and so now the shrub's about this high and they trim it. And so now you get a nice looking shrub. So the apical meristem you can use to make things prune, to change so that you get the growth to move down, and to make a nice looking bush for yourself. So it's fun to know. You can rescue plants that people say, that plant's not good. About the plants that my friend said looked really awful and cool, by 8 months later, they looked like really gorgeous plants. There's no need to do those things. Save your money. Learn what an apical meristem will do for you. So, however, so now we're going to talk, I need to add the cambium layer. It's a living layer of the plant. And what happens is a branch goes up, and then it comes down into a tree, or even one of your vegetables have this kind of system where inside this plant, the sugars from the sun are brought down, and the sugars are going to flow. And so it's going to be, here we go, flown. And on the outside of the plant is coming down the sugars to the roots. And so the outside here brings down the food for the plant. Then you have, under that, the living layer. Oh dear, this is not showing. Let me see if I can find another color. Hold on. I guess I better get some better home. Oh, theirs doesn't work either. Hang on. Well, this is interesting.
There's a red one over there.
Well, I know, but I've got to use a red one. Hold on. Okay, we'll go. Ah!
There you go.
Okay, good. See, this is our cambia layer. Okay? And that's your living layer. And, people talk about grafting. What they're doing is they're trying to match the size, but they're trying to match the living layers and make a new plant come off that's a different variety. So we're using this all the time. And then we have, if you want to think of someone's playing a xylophone on the bottom of the things, I used to teach kids, and so the xylem goes up on the very most inside, and it's bringing up water and minerals. Why would this matter? Well, if you have a little vegetable, and in the vegetable, suddenly you have a ding come out, a bug, or somebody steps on it, and it cuts all the way in to here, will you think your vegetable will do well? No, because now you cut off its water supply. And likewise, trees and plants, when you go and the story I have that I learned from this is I really enjoy the fact that from 1975 I became a California certified nurseryman. And so I've been in the nursery business that long. And I also then in 1998 became a master gardener. And so as a master gardener, we get the privilege of having amazing professors come and talk to us. So Jan up from Washington came out and showed us pictures. She saw a wonderful tree. So I'm going to show you this tree that she told us about. Hopefully you'll see it. It came up and there, and they had a tie that went around here, and the tree grew into the tie. Let me make it a little tighter. Right here, it came right up to it, so it went right around it, and it grew into it. And she did not, unlike me, I will go up to trees and snip these things off. She decided to use it as a teaching mechanism and let the tree grow, and every year took pictures. So what happened is this part grew really big, and she's watching this, and this one, as it's growing into the green area, it's not growing quite as strongly over here. And then it hit the blue area, the phloem, it's not growing as strongly, then it's hitting the living area, and now this has stopped. It's not growing at all. And so she said, what did the homeowners do? They cut off the side branch because it didn't look good, and they didn't like it. And then she took pictures until it became into the final xylem, the water and the minerals, and showed this part die. So understanding how that plants actually have a vascular system like we have, a blood system, makes it so you can use that. You can increase the minerals that are coming into the phloem area. When we talk fertilizing, we can talk about how to fertilize foliar and make the plant stronger. And we're going to talk about watering and how watering will affect your growth and how you're fertilizing.